Put a lot of weight on two scenes that happen one after the other. There's one when Bella kisses Jacob before the battle, and then when she goes and talks to Edward about it. And they were just as interesting to shoot as they were for me to read, so it was good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is this a hope for them in terms of loving other people, or does...
In terms of marrying them?
Well, you never know, maybe stranger things have happened.
I know, but honestly, you should take a look at some of those titles, because they're weird. I mean, they had fun with picking whatever, I mean, just for anyone who would like to notice funny things about this movie. The titles in the rooms, I was always like, what are they reading? Anyway.
I was
walking into rooms with thousands of people, it's like, I don't know, it's funny, the first time it's like, whoa, and it's kind of exciting and your hand makes you really happy and stuff, and you have loads of adrenaline. The second time you're like, yeah, it's happening again, I'm like a big deal. And then the third...
I swear this is not how he feels about it.
And then the third time you start judging, they're like, is this as big as the last time? I can't remember. Is it as big as the last time? And you start getting paranoid, and then by the time the fourth one comes, you're like, it's definitely smaller. Oh my god.
I play guitar since I was, I don't know, 10 or something like that. My dad plays, so I've always kind of played growing up. But I'm not a singer. That was a first.
I don't know. I mean, it's funny how the whole genre has changed since Twilight came out. I mean, now vampires is considered attractive, sexy thing.
Oh, sure, you got to have them.
Yeah, and now it would be weird to have a scary vampire.
Yeah, weird not to have vampires. Yeah. I can't imagine life without them, frankly.
I have a cat.
Yes, but it's not just a cat.
He's a Bengal. He's just like it's a domestic cat. They're just sort of yeah, Jella.
What's the cat's name?
Oh God, I'm in that too. The cat's name is Max. I call him Jella. I really don't know why. It's just.
But it's a cat.
Not really, and it's always different as well. It's always, I mean, there's always a kind of general anticipation and excitement about it, but it always feels slightly different every single time. Especially because the more times you have actual encounters with fans, the more they know you and know very specific things about you, and so it's. You, from a distance, you see this huge writhing, screaming mass, and when you go up and they're like talking about a book you mentioned like 3 years ago in an interview, and they're like, "Oh, I read that book" or whatever. Yeah, everyone has these individual little anecdotes, which is really nice. And that, like the first movie we were doing that, and people were just screaming. They had no idea who we were. I mean, it was yeah, kind of different.
Now they're your old pals.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt all right. I mean. It's funny, it's not even in the book, and so usually if there's any question about a scene, how it should be played, anything, you go back to the Bible and you flip through and you find it. In this case, that scene is imagined in between chapters. It's something that you project onto it, and everyone is different. And so to think that we had to do like the sexiest sex scene ever imagined by anyone was sort of slightly daunting, but kind of funny. How did you prepare for
Yeah, the first 4 days. Yeah. No, yeah, it went to a very dark place very, very quickly. It's funny, like the two things that people wanted, that Edward and Bella wanted. Edward sort of desperately wanted to get married, and she, they wanted to have sex, and it's kind of, it just completely was the wrong decision for both of them. Like, it's a terrible, terrible decision.
I get asked this a lot. Yeah. And I think, no, it's okay. It's a good question. It's a really good question. And I think that it's hard to give Bella advice because she really is kind of a tough little sitch. And she's like trying really hard to like do everything right. But maybe I would, I probably wouldn't even know that her boyfriend was a vampire because she keeps a lot from the people closest to her. And maybe she should stop doing that, because as soon as you let everybody in on, honesty is always the best policy, and it's hers, so it's sort of weird that she's not truthful with everyone.
Definitely scenes in it which were harder. I mean, in the last one, there wasn't such a human storyline. Like this one seems very, very human and very real. So you kind of had to prepare for it like a drama rather than an adventure or action movie.
I think I really wanted to do most of it. I was really upset whenever I saw that little doll be carted onto set.
Is it weird seeing a doll of yourself?
Yeah, it is really weird. I don't like it. It's sort of like, hey, watch it. Like a little bit too similar to me. I don't know. I think basically just when Rob was like pounding the needle into her chest, and that's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, I mean, it was my head sticking out of a prosthetic body, and then they put the entire fake body in to have Rob beat it back to life, pretty much. It all sounds really weird, but yeah.
I think this is Edward and Bella's honeymoon.
Edward and Bella's honeymoon. All right, here we go. The long-awaited honeymoon.
Yeah.
Okay, take a look.
They're, I think, not very closely descended or, like, you know, related to, like, the Asian leopard cat. And, yeah, Bengals, I mean, I know a lot of people have them, too. They're not that weird. Everyone's like, you've got wild animals. What is wrong with you?
But I think it's a wild...
Yeah, I mean, the last day in Squamish, when we had the biggest, we had kind of pretty much the whole cast. Actually, no. What am I talking about? We weren't the final. We didn't shoot the final thing. We had all the vampires were doing this part of the wedding, and we all wrapped. But that wasn't the final day of shooting. There was still like another few days, so no one was really said it was the end, and everyone kind of ran off because it was freezing cold and it was the middle of the night and stuff. And so yeah, it was it was sort of a confused ending to it. But then me and Kristen did one more scene in the Caribbean on the beach, and we're just like kissing in the sea, and that was my final scene from Twilight. I was like, wow, that's a nice way to end it, just kind of in this like boiling hot ocean and kind of having some cocktails as the sun rose. I mean, it's like, wow, why didn't we have more scenes like this in Twilight?
Seriously, yeah.
We didn't. Everyone asks us if we got drunk, and we did. It's so funny, it's like the most common question. We weren't that terrified. I don't know, it's like a normal scene, you know?
I don't know. I mean, that completely amazes me every single time. I mean, because you kind of, if something explodes and it's all new, and I kind of get it for the first one, but I mean, it is incredibly strange, like how it's still. I mean, and it's not like it's no different. People still go crazy when they're in a big crowd of people and like kind of at events or whatever. It's a nice feeling. It's kind of, it's job security.
Oh man, it feels good.
Did it feel good?
Yeah, it's funny because before I walked out, I just kept going, gosh, you're 21 years old, Twilight is getting this honor, whatever. But at the same time, I've had to do this recently. You have to force yourself back in your own head. Like, be there. Like, really, like, be where you are. It was amazing, especially to sit between those two.
That was cool.
I mean, I never really connect to it, really. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm sort of disassociated from it, so like, it doesn't really affect me. But I guess it's kind of nice.
So I have a lot more fun watching them on TV, but it was fun. It was like we were like walking around a lot. It was I didn't really get to see the show, so I was like a little frazzled, but like
he matured. I mean, he started out, even though he was 108, he was basically a 17-year-old with a troubled 17-year-old. Really, he had a lot of problems and very filled with angst. And as the movies went on, it's kind of Edward grows more and more content with himself. It's kind of like he's growing up. I mean, he's not a teenager anymore. It's sort of, I guess when I was younger, I felt a lot more, a lot more anxious about everything. And then you get to 24, and then you feel a lot more calm. And then you get to 25, and you get anxious again.
hopefully, I mean, he has imprinted, so hopefully she's okay with that. I think he'll be a pretty cool uncle.
It was incredible, especially, I mean, I basically went straight into it the day I finished Breaking Dawn. I mean, it couldn't be more different. It was just, I've never done a movie like it, and I've never worked with anyone like him. He's so confident in his abilities, and so calm. Everything just seems easy to him, and also fun as well. Because he doesn't seem to have any kind of money issues with the movie. Like, it's kind of like when Cronenberg's doing a movie, it's like it's his movie and the money will come and that's it. He'll make his movie and no one questions anything. and just working in this environment where he's like just doing his thing and having fun with it, and kind of, you know, he was always saying things like at the end of the movie he said, you know, I really hope to know. I really hope that I never know what this movie's about ever, because I don't want to learn what it's about. It's kind of, it defeats the whole object of it. You haven't made something interesting if you know what it's about at the end. And knowing that I've never met anyone who's that kind of saying like, yeah, I have no idea what the script's about, and I don't know what the movie's about either.
Well,
he like seriously like romps around with my wolves in the backyard. I wish we had pictures of that.
And you have.
It was really nice. I mean, she looks amazing in it, and people had to keep it hidden because there are a ton of paparazzi trying to take pictures. So the first time any of us saw it was when she was actually doing the scene, which made it much easier for the scene as well, because you get a kind of genuine reaction.
Oh, come on. EJ, I think both. Can I go and let you go? All right.
Well, I've been hit.
Yeah.
Doing wire work before, where you're just pulled by the wire, but this is the first time I've actually had to try and control my body. It's very hard.
I understand. They took them.
I always wonder what they did with the shoes when you put them in the cement.
Yeah, they took them. They're probably in some box in a. I think they're gonna put like something up in a museum there or something.
Oh, that's cool. Is that?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's some things. I mean, generally just stuff I haven't done before is the main thing. I look at the people I want to work with. That affects things quite a lot. But a lot of the times it's just a feel. Like you just kind of you read the script and you're just like, this works for me. So yeah, and especially and if all the other pieces look good like this, I mean, there are so many Oscar winners at every level of the production. You know, it was a pretty classy project. So I was quite honoured to be a part of it, I guess.